So good morning, and thank you all for being here. It's an exciting day for us, not least of which is because there's a saying in Seattle on mornings like this that the mountain is out. So if you had the luxury of seeing Mount Rainier this morning, don't listen to the people who live here. They don't want you to stay, so they say that it rains all the time. Actually, this is 99% of the days are just like this. So with that, so that's the first lie of the morning, and then we'll get that out of the way. Today is a really special day. As the video mentioned, there really isn't a better time or more need for what the Asia Society provides. Started in 1956 by the Rockefellers, and among a number of others. I was told that one of the founders of the Asia Society actually was from Seattle, at that time. And the purpose was to foster better understanding between the peoples of Asia and the United States. And that's been the mission, and that continues to be the mission. And as the video mentions, things become more and more challenging, partly because of the advance of technology, the advance of the development of different societies. And it really puts us in the position for the Asia Society between policy, education, arts and culture, technology. What we're going to try to do is bring to Seattle what we know from the rest of the Asia Society centers and take advantage of what is here, which is a phenomenal background in healthcare, phenomenal background obviously in technology. The retail play, a huge amount of trade that goes on between Seattle and the rest of the world, particularly Asia. So very, very important day for us to launch this today. It's fantastic to do this in conjunction with SAM, the Seattle Art Museum. My wife Yuka's on the board. This is the Seattle Asian Art Museum that you're in today. And afterwards, when we break at 11 o'clock, 11:15, strongly encourage you to walk through the museum upstairs and look at the exhibits. It is spectacular. So with that, I'm going to introduce Catherine Roche. Catherine is the incoming president of the board, chair of the Seattle Art Museum, and she's going to provide some comments and an introduction. She also has a very interesting background. Very few people can say that they lived multiple years in Japan and multiple years in Bentonville, Arkansas. And so with that, I'm going to ask Catherine to come up and kick off the proceedings. So thank you all again for being here.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Catherine Roche, and I'm president-elect of the Board of Trustees here at Seattle Art Museum. It is truly my honor to welcome you today and to celebrate the Asia Society's exciting launch here in Seattle. Asian art has been a cornerstone of the Seattle Art Museum's identity since its establishment in 1933. Our earliest collections included extensive holdings of Chinese and Japanese objects donated by our founder, Dr. Richard Fuller. The museum and its collections have greatly expanded since then, along with our commitment to Asian art. In the 1990s, following the opening of SAM's downtown location, this historic Art Deco jewel box, the original home of our museum, was rededicated to become the Seattle Asian Art Museum. It's now among only a handful of museums in the United States focused exclusively on Asian art. In February of 2020, with tremendous thanks to all of our supporters, we completed a $56 million campaign to refurbish and reimagine this building. A major objective was to better connect the museum to the park, which I think you can appreciate today, as well as to add more gallery space and an art education studio. In addition, we established the only conservation studio of Asian paintings for Asian paintings in the Western United States. And as Gary said after this morning's discussion, please go upstairs and see for yourselves the wonderful installations we have. But I feel for today's purposes, the most important moment to highlight in our history is when our Director Emerita, Dr. Mimi Gardner-Gates, launched the Gardner Center for Asian Art and Ideas in 2009. For over a decade now, this space has served as a central gathering place where our community connects with the cultures of Asia. The flagship program of the Gardner Center is Saturday University, which hosts academic and specialists from all over the world to explore all facets of Asia, from its art and history to economics and agriculture, global health, and public policy. This program has been almost unexpectedly popular to the point that we often have overflow audiences spilling out into the corridor. I had the good fortune of working with Mimi when she founded the center, and one of our early models was quite naturally the Asia Society. So it feels to me quite fitting to be standing here, back at this podium, in this building that I love so much, welcoming the Asia Society to Seattle. We at the museum foresee many opportunities for collaboration, shared learning, exchanging ideas, and bolstering the missions of both organizations. Asia Society Seattle, we've been waiting for you. Welcome. And it's now my pleasure to introduce Ping Foong, Foster Foundation Curator of Chinese Art.
Thank you so much, Catherine. And I want to join Catherine Roche, our Seattle Art Museum's board president-elect, in extending a warm welcome to this distinguished group. You are here to celebrate the launch of your 16th Global Center, Asia Society Seattle, and no doubt we will have many more opportunities to partner in the future. However, I want to point out that the Seattle Asian Art Museum, the building that you are standing in right now, and Asia Society are already sister institutions, practically related by blood. Let me explain. In February of 2020, we reopened the doors of the Seattle Asian Art Museum with a grand opening. That's right, it was exactly 1 month before the pandemic lockdown. In February of 2020, nearly 20,000 visitors came in the first 2 weeks to see our new extension, our exhibits of Sam's masterworks, the newly reimagined collection galleries, organized not by chronology or geography, but organized cross-culturally according to theme. One reason we decided to attempt this unusual path was because of a convening of 8 senior scholars of Asian humanities who came to help us dream about the future. What are the possibilities for an Asian art museum after taking everything out and then putting it back in almost whatever way we want it? This chance in a lifetime was deeply influenced by Vishaka Desai, President Emeritus of Asia Society, who was at our think tank, and during which she was, well, you know Vishaka, eloquently persuasive on the big picture, having done her own groundbreaking for Asia Society Museum. Hence, the intellectual basis of this museum and that of Asia Society has many shared goals and expressions about how to represent Asia's regional distinctiveness and diversity, how to stand for the economic, political, and cultural power of Asia from past to the present. If you are now curious to see our galleries, do come and join our gallery tours after this program. I and my colleagues would be very proud and pleased to discuss them with you. So, with that in mind, we representatives of the Seattle Art Museum extend to you our best wishes for your inaugural celebration. Well, I think you chose exactly the right venue for your celebration. So thank you all for coming.
Thank you so much to the Seattle Asian Art Museum and members of the board for celebrating with us in this beautiful, beautiful venue. We have a terrific audience with us here today. Representatives from the Governor's Office, Deputy Mayor Greg Wong, Commissioners Sam Cho and Kristen Ang, Japan Consul General Inagaki, Korea Consul General Seo. We also have representatives from Canada, the UK, Taiwan, and Australia. We have business leaders from Microsoft, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, Boeing, Amazon, Google, Starbucks, K&L Gates, University of Washington, Seattle University, and many, many more. We are delighted to have all of you business leaders and community leaders here with us. Welcome. Asia Society now has 16 centers across the globe, and we're thrilled to have our global leadership here to support this launch too. Global Trustee Ernie Thrasher, Global COO Deborah Eisenman, Chief Development Officer Shane Williams-Ness, our Honorary Chair of Northern California Ken Wilcox, Advisory Council member and President of the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences, also from Southern California, Janet Yang. It means so much to have all of you here with us. Thank you. Let's please welcome everybody. I'm Margaret Conley, the Executive Director of the Northern California and Seattle Centers, and our mission at Asia Society is to build bridges and navigate shared futures. We do this by hosting events on our major pillars of policy, business, education, technology, and to share more with you about our legacy pillar of arts and culture. We are thrilled to have with us our brand new global head of the department and museum director. He comes to us from the Tate. Please join me in welcoming Yasufumi Nakamori.
Good morning. I'm really glad to be here in a beautiful morning in Seattle. It's my first visit in the last, I think, 7 years. Margaret, thank you so much for your kind introduction. So I would like to talk a little bit about our history and also new directions of art and culture program and also Asia Society Museum in New York. So at Asia Society, we want to celebrate Asian and Asian diaspora art of the past and present in its complexity and diversity, supporting artistic risk-taking and deep scholarship. We believe access to art is a universal human right, and we see our galleries and programs as a sites of creative learning and thinking. And we actually create exhibitions and also programs in partnership with numerous organizations in the US and also Asia. Our history, since its inception in 1956, Asia Society Museum has created groundbreaking exhibitions and programs of both traditional and modern contemporary art, featuring art from Asia and also art made by Asian and Asian diaspora artists, in particular Asian American artists. We do hold, it's a relatively small but preeminent collections of 428 objects, including 300 traditional Asian art, most of which came from Mr. and Mrs. John D. Rockefeller Third Collection. So our work includes making exhibitions and programs such as lectures and film program and performing art programs. We also acquire and preserve art, Asian art. And then we do conduct research and publish outcomes. So as one pillar of Asia Society, we collaborate with colleagues in other areas such as policy, business, education, as much as we can to create those exciting visual arts and culture programs. So our programs really are a wide range, including Arts and Museum Summit, in which we invite a group of artists, museum professionals, and policymakers in the US and Asia to discuss a new direction in museum practice, as well as partnerships with the US and Asian museums. So we take actually a leadership in this field. And of course, we make a really important exhibition, historically one after another, including the Rockefeller collection show such as this. We had this summer, a Shaka Clan exhibition. We also spent a couple of years to do groundbreaking exhibition on certain themes like this. This is about actually exhibition image of the hell from various Asian traditional religions and also contemporary art and culture. of course, actually, Japanese art is a very important part of our programs and exhibitions. And we looked at the range of Kamakura era Buddha sculptures in this exhibition. Then we look at actually other parts of Asia too. India has been a very important part of our programs. So we looked at the Bombay's progressive artist group, emerged in 1947 in an exhibition in New York. We even coined the term of Asian contemporary art by doing exhibitions one after another, looking at particularly Asian art from 80s and 90s, including this, Inside Out, New Chinese Art. This really broke the ground of our interest in Asian contemporary art. And then monographic exhibition of important artists such as Yoshitomo Nara, a Japanese artist. We also create, as I said, actually, a number of programs, concerts, and also lecture series, including musical homage to the earth. This was a part of the coal and ice presentation in Washington, D.C. last year, and Renee Fleming was one of the performers in this. So 3 new directions for the arts and culture. I want to see the 3 elements in all of the programs and exhibition we create. Art and society, looking at the relationship between art and politics in particular, and now and then, we look at the historical materials for the contemporary relevancy, why history matters now, and also connecting 2 different points in the history in the exhibition. And then look at the Asia in the world, Asia from global perspectives. So there are 3 shows coming up actually under this concept. The shows were programmed before me, but nonetheless, they all actually fall under the new direction for the museum. Meiji Modern, we look at actually 50 years of transformation in Japan in art and culture, which comes with also a variety of programs. As a matter of fact, tomorrow in New York, we host actually a symposium on Japan's reinventing economy and also finance. That's an all-afternoon program, I understand, tomorrow. And then after that, we look at actually how artists, particularly photographers and also video artists, respond to climate crisis, the cause and consequences. This was actually an exhibition led by our colleague, Orville Schell, who will be speaking later, I understand, the director of the China-US relationships of Asia Society, together with Susan Meiselas, photographer. This also comes with a series of programs in New York, hopefully in Seattle as well. Then lastly, it's a very important show looking at 8 decades of art making, painting, bark paintings by Aboriginal populations in Yukala in Northern Territory in Australia. So this would be the first exhibition of this kind in New York, as a matter of fact. So what's happening next? I wanted to start a new research initiative looking at the Asian art from transnational perspective. So transnational is a way of understanding, researching, and curating that encourage the ideas that art, artists, and art histories are connected beyond their countries of origin. The word transnational encourages us to challenge and revise dominant art histories by highlighting the global exchange and flow of artists and ideas. So I wanted to actually create a program where we disseminate new research through seminars, symposia, and publication. We want to promote of scholarly exchange through the visiting fellowship program. And then we want to develop further partnership for this research with institutions in the US and Asia. So we look forward to collaborating with the Seattle Center. And also it's important actually partner institutions such as Seattle Asian Art Museum. So thank you so much.